When I first landed a job as a sales executive in the first ever integrated hotel and casino resort here in the Philippines, I immediately knew that I needed to get further studies in marketing later in my career. After accumulating more than 10 years worth of experience in the hotel and sales and marketing industry, I knew that it was time for me to fulfill my dream of taking up my master's degree to hone my expertise and raise my competence. Considering my bachelor's degree, work experience, and future goals, the recommendation given to me was to take up a master's degree in business, specifically in global management and marketing at Lincoln University in Christchurch, which I started last November 2020. I chose this course because of its relevance and timeliness in today's increasing globalization across different industries. Also, I opted to join Lincoln University because due to the pandemic, they offered their summer term, one of the 3 terms that I needed to take, to be fully delivered online. This meant lesser expense for me because I can finish one of the 3 terms while I'm still here in the Philippines. Taking up a master's degree delivered online required me to have extreme discipline and focus. I also had to prioritize studying over my business so I can achieve great academic results. I found myself reading a lot because as a master's degree student, while instructors deliver brilliant course materials and topics, definitely further research and analysis are still required. Well, reading the required 9 to 10 hours worth of course material is one. Researching peer-reviewed studies that are academic or scholarly in nature to answer every assessments or essays in each course is another. Lastly, probably another challenge would be the writing part of our assessments because it had to be written using an APA style of writing. Because it's purely online, so time allotted for studying is quite flexible. Also, while the program is asynchronous, the instructors do schedule an optional once a week virtual meetup where students can join in to ask questions related to the topic or upcoming assessments. Additionally, and probably the best strength of this program so far is the practicality and significance of the things that I learned relative to my experience as a manager. There were a lot of those aha moments because the topics do make sense in real life situations. After the courses appear in my student dashboard, I would first put the course deliverables and corresponding deadlines in my calendar so I would be able to prioritize properly. So I had 3 courses that all required reading, extensive reading, researching, listening, and writing. Well, needless to say, time management is extremely crucial. So it depends on the instructors, but courses may have quizzes once a week, tests, group presentations, individual presentations, and or assessment papers that require academic sources and APA style of writing. I typically start my week by spending 9 to 10 hours reading and taking down notes on the weekly topics of each of my 3 courses or subjects. If there are quizzes, I will then take it immediately after each topic. And when that's done, I'd start researching on resources that will help me on my assessment papers. Items researched need to be academic and scholarly in nature, meaning it is peer-reviewed. After all of those preparations, I'll start writing my paper, which takes around 3 to 5 days to finish, depending on the difficulty and number of words required. Right education through Jay, or Tito as I call him, which is the Filipino word for uncle, helped me a lot in the whole process of evaluating my options prior to making a decision. And yes, that meant a lot of questions coming from me, which he patiently answered. When I finally decided to take up my studies, Right Education did the hard work of researching and networking for me to deliver the best recommended course and university fitting for my needs. Of course, I could have painfully done this all by myself, but I personally prefer to take a piece of advice and receive assistance from an expert who knows the ins and outs of the trade, which include connections in each major academic institutions in New Zealand and partnerships with licensed immigration advisors. During my summer term, Tito J would check up on me every once in a while to see how I was doing, and I really appreciate it. Once I go to New Zealand, should allow students like me to move there, that will be so reassuring, like knowing that someone is looking out for me.